Okay guys, I've been playing Subnautica for a while. I've watched a lot of videos and I just had an idea about current generators. So what's really cool about current generators is once you turn them on, they don't use any power. You use batteries to make a power cell, but once you make it and your current generator, it doesn't use any power. You can take it out, drop it anywhere, turn it on, and it just runs forever. I really like it because you can tell you've got a good game developer making a game when they put something like the current generator in, because it's just inviting you to get creative and do something, unique. So I was like, I kept turning it over in my head. What could I do? What good can these current generators really be? Because as it is, it's just a box that you drop, and yeah, it could push fish away, but I was like, how can I really use it and get, just find a unique way to utilize it. And finally, it crossed my mind to build a tunnel and daisy chain current generators in it, to where I wasn't just, I didn't have to worry about burning battery power. I could use them as much as I wanted, as long as I wanted. It's always there, and plus you're kind of protected if you're in an area where there's fish that attack you. You take a tunnel and they're not going to get to you. It's just anyway, but I'm just going to dive down and show you what I built. This was my first attempt at it. I'm not the most artistic or creative person, so other people I'm sure can do something a lot bigger and better, but here it is. And once you get caught in a current, man, it just pushes you. I got a little lull right here. To my left is something I'll show you here in a minute, and it just keeps going. Now, I started out in the safe shallows where my life raft is, and here's where it comes out. I was like, well, if I'm gonna build a tunnel out here, I gotta have a little sea base out here too, if just for air. But it's cool. I mean, there's a lot of, there's a sand shark that lives here. He's not coming out right now, but he does live here. But I just did the usual bit, put a few windows in, and I'm definitely ready for Unknown Worlds to add more stuff to the sea bases, stuff for you to do, like more of a point to having them as opposed to just something cool to build and walk around in. But anyway, there's that. Now, current generators are in a way like a real subway or train. They only go in one direction. So if you build a tunnel going in one direction, if you want to go back to where you came from, you're going to have to make another tunnel going in the opposite direction, which is what I did here. And then I kind of embellished on it a little bit, and I had subway in my mind, and I was like, okay, I'll build a little terminal down here. And so there's that. And it kind of comes in handy if you need air, if you don't like carrying a lot of oxygen tanks. I do, just because I hate running out of air. So it's not really necessary for me, it's just cool to put in. And I can only imagine what, the more artistic players will do if they try to build something like that. Anyway, so now I'm taking the current generator train back. And this is just as fast as a Sea Glide. I timed it. It's pretty quick. I just hit my air bladder doodad here. I'm back. Now, I can tell you, tunneling and doing what I did and putting in the extra work into them, if you're using if you're cheating and using console commands like a lot of people are these days, it really removes the point of challenging yourself and figuring out a way to tackle the problem. So I'm going to do like a quick demo of how to build a tunnel. And what you want to do first is you want to look for, you know, an area you want to tunnel into. It could just be a stop along the way. It could be a biome that you're going to visit a lot. Whatever it could be where a sea base is, whatever it might be. Anyway, you pick out where you want to go, and you want to look at your depth. I want to tunnel out at right here, 45 meters, and I want to know what my heading is, which is a southern heading. When I tunnel, I'm actually going to be taking a northern heading. I have to keep that in mind once I start. After I've tunneled straight down, then when I'm tunneling straight out to my destination, I want to make sure I'm maintaining my depth and heading to where I came out at. So anyway, you get out your terraformer, you get your heading, you point straight down as far as you can, and start digging. And that's probably deep enough, I can't tell. No, I'm gonna be a little bit short. I'm gonna tunnel just a little bit more. 45 meters. Okay. Now here's the problem: is it's really hard to figure out what eye level is, what straight ahead of you is. Basically, because if you're a few degrees too high or a few degrees too low, your tunnel is going to be dug at an angle. It's not going to be perfect. As far as what we've got to use right now, you just have to eyeball it. So, but I'm at 45 meters and I'm shooting more or less straight ahead in the northern direction, and I'm going to follow it to where it ends. And this is a short tunnel, so I'll probably only have to dig out one more chunk here. Yeah, see, I'm at 49 meters, which means I've accidentally tunneled a few degrees lower than what I was planning on. And if you're tunneling a long ways, it really adds up, so it can really knock you off track. So it's not perfect. You kind of gotta be patient when you're tunneling to get them just right. But anyway, that worked out pretty well, though. I mean, that's pretty close to where I was at. A big challenge when you're tunneling, especially a long ways, is going to be oxygen. And if you're not using console commands, which I have yet to use a console command, not very many Subnautica players can say that at this point, probably. But I've never used one. To me, it just destroys the point of playing the game. I mean, it solves too much for you. But anyway, I'm gonna widen it out a little bit down here because when I put my current generator in, I want to have it lined out to where I can swim over the top of it, and it'll have kind of like a platform to rest on. That's not gonna, I just need room to get in front of it, basically. And this works out. This is just yeah, that's perfect. So now I've got like a little mount for my current generator. We're gonna get a hit of air here. And when you dig down deep, like I've got 4 tanks of oxygen, but if you're digging a really long ways, you really want to utilize the oxygen pipe. And unfortunately, it only goes down, I mean, the deepest I've been able to get a pipe to work, and maybe I'm not doing it right, but the furthest I've been able to get it down is about 40 meters. And when I was digging the first 2 tunnels I showed you, I was definitely wishing I had more oxygen pipe, because it's tough. I mean, it's kind of like claustrophobic, because you're looking at your oxygen meter and you're trying to tunnel, precisely and get it all right, while you're kind of under a deadline for time. So putting pipe back near the entrance of where you're tunneling is really essential. Now, and what you can do to kind of partially solve the construction problem when you're tunneling and you need oxygen, is you can always, like in the middle of your tunnel, you can point straight up and shoot a tunnel straight up back to the surface.